So good. Hello, YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. Of course, I'm enjoying my Café Bustelo with real sugar and real cream. And yes, something beautiful is on the horizon. So, first, the date is Wednesday, July 25th, 2017, and the time is approximately 6:30 p.m. I am bringing, almost forgot, shout out to Gothica. There will come a time when I don't shout out to Gothica because I will have already kept my promise to her. But I wanted to talk to you about something really quick. So first, every once in a while, either my awesome audiovisual tech person or myself, or both of us, will become either very busy or so much busier than we already are that we actually forget about certain videos. And a perfect example of this is my video review of the Daughters of the Moon Tarot deck by Fiona Morgan. I just happened to be going through my terabyte drive and I saw this video and I'm like, what's this? I was in the video and I was reviewing one of my personal favorite tarot decks and I totally forgot about it. It happens. So recently I was going through my terabyte again and there was another video. Some chirping birds, don't worry about them. So what happened was, I actually had forgotten about this video. Now this video is the setup to this other video. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this. So I've talked about how I very rarely, if ever, give people free readings. And it's for the simple reason that in the past, I've met people who tried to get over on me. I've met people who have been or have become clients and students who also give readings professionally, and they've told me some horror stories. And I have found that giving readings for a fee eliminates a lot of problems in my life. A lot of problems. And I know that a lot of people have issues with that, and I know that a lot of people think, well, this is so spiritual, how can you charge money for it? Which is a whole other video that will be done. But I find that every once in a while, I will follow my divine guidance with regards to giving somebody a free reading. I must admit, there have been times that I have felt it was more important to ignore my divine guidance in giving somebody a free reading than to follow it. But that, I think, is another separate video as well. So long story short, I was divinely guided to give one of my favorite people on the planet a reading for her birthday. And I decided to do something really fun and cool. And I did a video reading. I had recorded the video on my previous laptop computer's webcam, put it on thumb drive. Yeah, thumb drive. I used one of my favorite tarot books, one of my more modern favorite or more recent favorite tarot books, which is 365 Tarot Spreads by Sasha Graham. And I remember going through the book and selecting her birthday and using the spread that was listed for her birthday for her reading. Loved doing it, had a lot of fun. I loved what she said afterwards and how accurate it was and how on point it was. And I was especially honored when she gave me permission to use it for marketing purposes, or at least to use it on my YouTube channel as a way of attracting new clients. So, long story shorter, I totally forgot about it. And as some of you know, I have become a lot busier in my professional psychic practice since last year, and my side position of employment has also become a lot more involved and demanding since last year. And as a result, certain things I don't do as quickly as I once did, or as often as I once did. And uploading videos is a prime example of that. Anyway, so since the sun is in Leo, which is my rising sign, and the polar opposite sign of the individual's sun sign, and also the polar opposite of my natal moon sign, I figured this would be a perfect time to do this video, to have it rendered, to do this segue video. And then, so basically what's going to happen is, this is going to be a few minutes of talk, in setting up this video, and then you'll see the video, and then afterwards I'll talk a little bit more, and then I will answer any questions you have. Oh, pardon me. The goddess is saying, drink more café bustelo. You know I love this coffee. Oh, that's so good. Now, as somebody who used to be in 2 choirs, that's actually one of the worst things I can drink before speaking. But it tastes so good. Anyway, so any questions you may have, I'm more than happy to answer, provided it does not violate the client's privacy and confidentiality. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to take a quick look on my a quick look on my index card notes, and that's pretty much it for now. So I want to thank you. I hope you enjoy the video reading. And who knows, if your sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign is Leo or Aquarius, you might see some shades of similarity, or to use a beautiful literary term, verisimilitude in your life as well. But for now, I want to thank you, and I invite you to enjoy the video reading.
Hello, Michelle. And happy birthday from Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting on a Fan. So my intention was to make this video this past Sunday, well actually yesterday during the day, but between all the stuff with the snow and all people's stuff about the snow and me spending too much time on Facebook and all this other stuff, I was just exhausted. And it would not have been a very good reading. So this is what I was divinely guided to do for you. So I took one of my favorite tarot books. Yep. And went to January 24th. Imagine that. And it says here, release obsessive thought spread. On this day, Arctic explorer Ernest Shackleton's ship Endurance becomes stuck in ice on this day in 1915. Frozen in packed ice for 10 months, the pressure would eventually crush the ship, causing it to sink. Now, before I read the summation of the spread, I want to read this other portion here. So I'm going to read kind of like back and forth. Buddha described the mind as a drunken monkey's jumping, screeching, and chattering endlessly. Fear, he claimed, was an especially loud monkey that could be tamed by meditation. And I thought that was very interesting because, as you know, the date of the next new moon is a new moon in Aquarius. And it is on Monday, February 8th, 2016. And in addition to being a new moon in Aquarius, it is also the date of the Chinese New Year of the monkey. I still need to find out which element. I have no idea if it's going to be fire, water, metal, etc. Now, summation of spread. Have you ever had thoughts stick in your head like a ship lodged in ice? This is especially frustrating when grappling with tough or painful situations. And this, of course, relates to the conversation we had the last time we got together. Well, one of them, anyway. The trick is to free your mind before tormenting thoughts drive you mad. This spread was created to help you break free when an obsessive thought lodges in your mind. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. You know that Sasha Graham did not get that from herself or from God. She got that from En Vogue. So I want to show you the spread at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it really well, but it's 2 rows of 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the first row. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the second row. I'm going to make it easier for myself and lift up 1 card at a time, and I will tell you what each card represents. So I've already shuffled the deck. I'm going to put this here. I've already shuffled the deck. Okay. Hold that thought, please. Okay. I've already shuffled the deck. And before I tell you which deck I'm using for your reading, so at one point earlier, I was thinking to myself, okay, what deck am I going to use for Michelle's reading? And literally, one of the decks that I use as an ornament on my Yule tree literally flew into my hand and almost flew past my head. It was like, wow, So I was like, wow. And I didn't even realize that, and I'll show you the pouch that I used. And this is actually one of the pouches that Rosa used for one of her soaps. So I had, the deck was in here, and I just happened to reach, I thought I was reaching for the book, and what I wound up reaching for was the end, this part over here. And it got, stuck onto my fingers, and, literally, I was like, whoo! Okay. There's been a lot of hissing in the feline gallery tonight, so let me tell you. Anyway, so it is one of my personal favorite tarot decks. It is the Hanson-Roberts Tarot Deck by Mary Hanson-Roberts. So, and I've already seen the bottommost card, which is your final message card. I shuffled the deck, cut the deck. I've already prayed, done my Florida water. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so the first card reads, is this a legitimate concern? And the card is the Knight of Rods. I'm inclined to say yes, this is a legitimate concern, because remember, the Knight of Rods to me is another aspect of the spiritual warrior. So in my psychic mind, it's saying yes. And interestingly enough, when I first envisioned conducting this reading for you, I got a yes with this first card. And since it is a Wands card, or in this case, Rods, I'm going to say yes. Okay, so that is card number 1. Card number 2. Will this happen whether I worry about it or not? The Hanged Man. So, Michelle, I'm going to say to you, surrender and release all the worries you have about all these situations. I'm not saying they're not worrisome. I'm not saying that. What I am saying to you is definitely surrender and release your worries about them. Remember how I simplify the explanation of the law of attraction. Whatever we think about, we manifest. Whatever we focus on increases. So if you're going to focus on all your worries and fears, you're going to magnify them. And remember, Aquarius is the sign of the visionary. So what visions do you want to manifest? The ones that bring you hardship and pain, or the ones that bring you joy, riches, and success? I know what my choice is. And remember, the Hanged Man is astrologically linked to the element of water. So you're focusing on mental images that are causing your emotions to plummet, and they're not bringing you peace. Okay. Card number 3. Are there steps I can take to prepare for the perceived outcome? Yes. First, go to your celestial mother, Guan Xin. It's funny because, I never really thought of the Queen of Cups as somebody's personal goddess. But it makes perfect sense, because think about it. More than any other Queen card, the Queen of Cups represents one's mother. I used to actually call the Queen of Cups the Queen Mother. And this was funny because it was actually before Queen Elizabeth's mother transitioned. Queen Elizabeth II's mother transitioned to the astral realm. I was like, wow. Oh yeah, Queen Elizabeth I, I think. Anyway, so go to Guanxin, and I'm also going to say go to Archangel Gabriel, because Gabriel is astrologically linked to the moon, and for my personal psychic advisor, Roger Pratt, Queen of Cups corresponds to Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. And you did claim that full moon birthday. So listen to Guanxi, listen to your own mother, your human mother. And I'm also hearing Shang-O, the Chinese goddess of the moon. And I just heard Durga meow, so yeah, that's confirmation. Hi, Durga. Number 4, am I dwelling too much on the past? Yeah, I would say you are. 10 of Swords. So you're focusing on the ruin, the loss. You're focusing on what's no longer here. You're actually focusing on things that really haven't been in effect in probably more than 10 years. Although I know 2 professional psychics, both of whom happen to be gay, interestingly enough. And for the 2 of them, swords represent weeks. So I'm going to say you're dwelling on things that are 10 to 11 weeks past from this point. So we're talking about 10 to 11 weeks ago, which is 2015. Granted, tail end of 2015, but still past. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Number 5, am I doing this to avoid present problems? The Devil card. I would say yes. And to me, remember, the Devil card has to do with issues about money, issues about sex. And I know you talked about issues about both recently, so I would say yes. The question is, am I doing this to avoid present problems? Yes. So, with regards to present problems, do what you can, handle what you can, and whatever you seem incapable of handling, ask somebody to help you. Human-looking, or divine. And remember, you also have, as your Aquarian go-to archangel, Archangel Uriel. So Uriel can help you develop your psychic abilities even more and help you see, or rather psychically see what you need to see to move past those problems. And also help you surrender and release any lingering anger, resentment, bitterness, or unforgiveness you may have towards yourself or others that are directly or even indirectly involved in these present problems. Hi, Durga. Hi, you're so cute. And I'm doing a reading. That's important. Okay? Number 6. Is this issue worth the amount of time I'm spending worrying about it? Good question. King of Pentacles. Hello, Durga. Looky, Durga. Look at Durga. Hi. You want to be a part of the reading? She's blessing your reading, Michelle. Okay. So, King of Pentacles, that feels like, it is a legitimate concern. And again, this has a lot of energetic connections to the Devil card, because remember, the Devil card is astrologically linked with the sun sign Capricorn. For Julian de Burgh, who created the Celtic Tarot, or at least one of the tarot decks with that name, the King of Pentacles represents Capricorn energy. So there is an astrological correlation. I'm not going to say that the worries are illegitimate, because I know that's not the case. What I am going to say is that you may need to focus your mind on something else. Number 7. Are there more important issues I should focus on? Judgment. Archangel Gabriel. So focus on your artistic expression, focus on your creativity, focus on your moon magic. And remember, one of Archangel Gabriel's ancient titles is Gabriel Levanael, which means Gabriel of the moon. It's Hebrew, Gabriel of the moon, which if you're going to literally translate, it means messages from God, from the moon. So really focus on your full moons and new moons as opportunities to receive greater messages from God, from the goddess, from all the goddesses and gods that are sacred to you. Number 8, can I turn this problem into a hidden opportunity? 4 of Rods. I'm going to say it's already a hidden opportunity, or rather, I'm going to say that it is already an opportunity that has yet to manifest. This is one of the few tarot cards with which I have always associated a specific calendar date, and for me, this is April 4th. So I do have a feeling that on or around April 4th, 2016, and let me just look at my computer calendar to find out what day of the week that is. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. And interestingly enough, so far this year, virtually every new moon has been during the first 10 to 15 days of the month. So this would be around a new moon tide. Okay, I see where you're going, Durga, and I love you, but I would rather you not go back there just in case. So this is telling me that on Monday, April 4th, 2016, which is roughly 3 months from now, or a little bit less than 3 months, that is when this hidden opportunity will be wide open and ready for you. By the way, right now the time is approximately 10:57 p.m., and the current date is Monday, January 25th, 2016. Okay. Number 9. Is there anyone I can ask for help? 8 of Swords. Not yet. You might need to go this alone for a little while longer. You might need to actually have more faith in yourself and in your ability to overcome this problem before it's like, okay, I can ask somebody for help now. But again, follow your divine guidance. If your divine guidance says, this is the person to ask for help, then go for that. Number 10, what will make it stop? The Fool. For me, this is saying it's going to stop when it stops. I feel like this is already a done deal. Like this situation is not a permanent situation. It is a temporary one. I feel that it is both temporary and transitory. And your final message card is the Lovers, which depicts Archangel Raphael. So ask Archangel Raphael to heal this situation. Ask him to bring what I would call divine love healing energies into this situation and to all the people that are involved. And now I'm going to read the other portion of this entry because I didn't want to read it beforehand because I didn't want it to inappropriately influence me. The 9 of Swords portrays the pain of obsessive thinking, guilt, and an overworked mind. Her quilt, covered with astrological symbols, represents the need to uncover your eyes and look to the wisdom available. Now here's the interesting thing. Aquarius is the sign of astrology. So I feel that you may also need to learn more about yourself astrologically as a way of enhancing your strengths and diminishing your weaknesses, or rather enhancing or augmenting your good qualities, your strengths, and diminishing your negative characteristics. It was a pleasure to give you this birthday reading. It was a pleasure to surprise you this way. And this is your reading, so it's not going on YouTube. If you give me permission, that's another story. But this is just for you. And I wanted it to be just for you, and I certainly enjoyed this very much. And I wish you many blessings. I have been beyond super excited um, about getting together in exactly 6 days to celebrate our birthdays. I have some gifts for you that are going to make you freak. You're going to be like, oh my goddess. You will say, oh my goddess. I promise you. And I'm very excited about them because they will make you especially happy. And that I was able to find them for you made me especially happy. So anyway, happy birthday. I am honored to know you. You honor me gratefully, and I am forever thankful for that. And yeah, that's it. Oh, pardon me. As the spirit comes upon me now that the reading is almost done. But yes, so enjoy. Thank you. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the video reading. I certainly enjoyed it. The only thing that I feel the need to say is that this is not how I normally conduct readings. Like when a client comes to me for a reading, whether it's an in-person reading, an email reading, a phone reading, or a Skype reading, I do things a little bit differently. This was a very different situation. And of course, I think that because I was giving this wonderful person a free reading for her birthday, it was a lot more casual, it was a little more informal. But there's a specific method to how I give readings. There's a specific manner in which I give readings, which is more serious and more professional and a little more formal. In any event, if you are divinely guided to have a reading with me after watching this video, I would be honored. And you are more than welcome to ask me any questions you have about that. And when I say that, I mean, there's the obvious questions like, how much do you charge, and how do I pay for my reading, and what kinds of readings are available. But there are the less asked questions, like, actually, no. People do ask me how accurate my readings are, and I always tell them from my vantage point, because I don't really keep I don't keep tabs or track of this is the number of predictions that I've made that have come to pass. There are times when clients just go about their lives and they contact me when they're ready to contact me. I don't believe in running after clients. I don't have the luxury of time to do that, truth be told. If I ever did, I certainly don't have it now. And I don't like being intrusive. I mean, every once in a while, and this is another example of when I've actually gone against my divine guidance. There have been times when I have found a client's cell phone number or a client's email address, and the thought will come into my mind to reach out to him or her. But I feel like that's me being intrusive. Like that's me being pushy in a way that I don't like being. I don't have a problem being assertive. I certainly don't have a problem being assertive, or direct. But for me, it's like, clients are going to go about their lives, and when they're ready to have a reading with me, they'll contact me. I don't feel that I need to say, well, how you doing today? Or, so when are you going to schedule a reading? Because sometimes when I've done that, it actually hasn't worked out very well. To the point that, I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody expressed an interest in having me give his boyfriend a reading. And I remember one day we were on the phone and I said to me, so when does your boyfriend want to have his reading with me? And he's like, I don't know, but I'll talk to him and find out, and we'll see what happens. Last time I ever heard from that person about his boyfriend having a reading with me. And this is somebody that I see on average once or twice a month, and the conversation has not come up. There have been a few occasions since then where I've actually seen the boyfriend with the guy, and nothing. So, so me asking somebody, when are you going to have your reading with me, that, in my experience, doesn't work out too well. I mean, I'm sure it's worked out for me in the past, but not recently. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I invite you to follow your divine guidance. If you feel that, and if you know that you would receive divine blessings from my psychic services, by all means schedule a reading with me, schedule a session with me. If you're not sure what kinds of psychic services I offer, that's a great question to ask. And I know that I have, for me to give somebody a palm reading, other than in person, I don't think that would work. I don't know. It's like every time I think about giving somebody a palm reading, this is an example. Other than in person, I keep getting this like stuff in my mind, like complicated, confusing, perplexing, and that to me is not a smooth and effortless experience. I know that prior to the invention of the internet, somebody would take, like, let's pretend this is like a roll, a handle with a rolling thing, like a wheel, and they would run the roller on a big block of ink, black ink, and then do it on a person's hands like this, and then place the handprint on top of a white piece of paper, and then do that with the other hand, and then mail that to the person who's going to give them a palm reading. I would do that. If you want to do that, I will happily give you a palm reading via regular mail. But via email, it just doesn't jive with me. But who knows? Maybe I need somebody to take the plunge and say, you know what, let's do a psychic experiment and see what happens. You never know. But in the meantime, if you have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel of Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, I invite you to do so. And if you do have any questions about what kinds of readings I offer, what you can expect during a reading, what you can expect after a reading, or a class, or an energy healing treatment, then feel free to contact me and we'll take it from there. But for now, I wish you a beautiful night and many prosperity blessings.